So, hello everybody. This is Scrapping Like a Lady, and I have been a naughty girl. I have been diamond painting without you guys, and I just actually have this last strip to go, and then I'll show you guys Willa. She is done, and it's ever so gorgeous. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm still not excited about these 310s. I know you guys are probably like, Miss Lisa, we are tired of hearing about you and these 310s. All right, well, it's almost over with, so I gotta stop my bitching and complaining because it's almost over with. Sorry, I'm from California, and that's what we say when someone's crabby. We say she's bitching, and that's what I'm doing. So anyways, today is Father's Day, and Mr. Cooper has got his little belly full. I made him, the Indians have this, this bread. It's like a tortilla. I think it's called pan or something like that. I don't know. I need to go look at it. And you just heat it up in a pan and it fluffs up, and you flip it over and you heat the other side, and they're so buttery and so good. I'm sure my Indian YouTubers are like, what are you talking about? I don't know the name of it, but it is so good. Yesterday was Juneteenth, so I went to the Indian food store and I got some chicken. You know, all their stuff is kosher there, you know, so I got chicken, little chicken pieces all cut up already, and I made a red sauce with mushrooms and okra, and it was really good. If you guys have never tried, they have this thing at the Indian store called lemon pickle. And it is a lemon, almost like a lemon sauce, but a curry lemon sauce. Dude, I made that yesterday. I put a couple of scoops of that in the red sauce yesterday. And it was right at the checkout. I was just about to check out and I saw that. And I was like, you know what? I am one that if I don't know what something is, I'm going to try it. Try it till I hate it. That's what I always say. Well, it was so good. And it made the meal so, like, Indian authentic. So it really tastes like we were at an Indian restaurant. Everybody was like, ooh, Mom, this is so good. I was like, show you right. It was. So I gave Willie's Father's Day gift to him last month because y'all know I used to be a Jehovah's Witness for 17 years and we didn't celebrate holidays. So now that I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, I celebrate holidays. Honey, I take any opportunity to have myself a good time and to laugh and make cheer. So, so it was Father's Day for us last month. He just laughed. He ain't know either. He was like, oh, thank you.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, son. Good morning.
You getting ready to go to church?
Yes, we're going to go to church this morning. Are you gonna go? Why don't you try combing your hair and putting on a better looking shirt?
Sure thing.
Sure thing. So.
I have like, my hair looks cut shorter or no?
No, I'm letting your hair grow out.
Why?
Because I want it to grow out. You're just in a funky stage right now where you can't.
My father didn't want me to do something about this hair.
Just comb it. That's what he wants you to do. Try some of that. That's what they make combs for. Yeah. Lazy boys. Lazy. Comb your hair. So, anyways, I'm trying to let his hair grow out for I can braid it in a cute little braid style, you know, going backwards or whatever. I used to not like braids on boys. I just thought it was very, I don't know, I won't say. But I guess I didn't want other folks stereotyping. But I was like, you know what? It's a cultural thing. So, and it's my culture, so I'm doing it. And I like the way it looks, but I don't like the, I guess the stereotype judgment that goes with it, stereotypical, I should say. But you know what? You can't please everybody, so you just got to please yourself. And then whenever we go on cruises, which is usually once a year, it's like all the Caucasian people are getting their hair braided up, so it's not like it should be so foreign to see people's hair braided, you know, maybe boys or men, but as a society, I think we're getting over that. It's the same like tattoos. You know, my little older ladies are coming in. I always wanted to get a tattoo. I'm like, show you right. Do your thing, honey. It's time. It is time. So, especially the ones that are retired. I'm like, honey, you can do whatever you want to do now. You can do whatever you want. You don't have anybody to please. You know, I wanted to get a tat on my wrist, you know, one of those wristlets, you know, something real cute to dangle down, you know. But it's like the first thing my people see are my hands. And then you have some people that are ultra conservative. Now I sound like a hypocrite, right? But I think it's different in the workplace than it is in, you know, when you're just out and about. So, yeah. Am I wrong for thinking that? But I have my conservative people that come in and they're like, oh, I do not like tattoos. And I'll be quick to tell them, I'm like, I have tats. I have big tats too. But they're in places that people can't see. So when I go on vacation and I don't know those people, then I sport my tats. But nowadays, I mean, girls are just getting all tatted up. They got tats on their necks, their arms, and all of that. Are we going to regret it as a society when we get older? You know, when I used to be in a nurse in the nursing home, I remember this one lady, she had these perky breasts, like she was the first people to, you know, to get breast plants. I'm sure of it, because she was like 90 years old. So I was like, honey. So she had this old looking wrinkled body with these perky breasts. I was like, I ain't mad at you. If that's important to you, it's important to you, you know. So I don't know. I just say whatever floats your boat and gets you there. Do you. Don't worry about everybody else. I told you guys I watch on YouTube, what is it, 60, over 60 with Sandra, I think it's the name of her YouTube channel. And she's got a pretty big following. I think she has like 80,000 people follow her, you know. But she just has such words of wisdom, and she's such a lady. She used to be on the show Romper Room. I just love her. She's such a classy chick. And I send her messages too, especially when I'm listening to her, which is every day. I even rewatch and listen to, like, she wrote a book. I think she's on her second book now, actually. And she reads it. And she's such a proficient, you know, reader. And she's just, oh my gosh, a beautiful voice and a beautiful person. Anyway, she always has words of wisdom. And she's just like me. She says, whatever floats your boat and gets you there, honey. She don't say those words. That's my words. But it's all the same meaning, you know. So my daughter is down, she's almost here. She's in I don't know, another part of Texas right now, visiting my Maggie Moo. I told you about the girl that stayed with us. I basically just call her my little niece. And we went to her mom was my sister's best friend. And she's a white gal. And she had a black husband. And she has another black husband now. But, so her kids are mixed. Well, her first child, I think she's supposed to be white and Puerto Rican or something like that. And she is so pale. Well, I never saw her pale. She come walking up to me at SeaWorld, and I was like, who is this? And she's like, hi, Auntie. I said, Maggie Moo? Oh, my goodness. I said, baby girl, you look like a sheet of paper. She started laughing, so Kim went to her house, and she's like, Mom, Megan got so dark now. I said, ooh, good God, thank goodness, because I didn't know Maggie Moo. So that you couldn't tell she was Puerto Rican. I could only tell she was Caucasian, which is fine. I was just joking her, you know. My baby can be as white as she want to be. I'm going to still love her. But it was just so funny to see her so white. I said, Maggie Moo, what happened? Life got hard? You had to stay inside? And she's like, she's got a real good sense of humor. So she was with Kimberly, and Kim's like, Mom, Megan got dark again. She was like, yes, Auntie Lisa, I got dark. And Megan, she married a black man, and so her daughter has a real beautiful skin color, you know, almost the skin color as well, the same skin color as my son Richard, really. And even my ex-husband, I saw his butt, and I was like, why, goodness, you are white. Because every time I saw him, of course, I just saw him with clothes on, you know. And then once we got married and I saw him without his clothes on, I was like, I would have never known you were a white boy. I mean, because he was always in the sun. He was just so dark, like mixed race dark, you know. Yeah. So I'm going back to church today. I haven't been to church since the pandemic started. You know, and we say it's been a year, but it's really has seemed like 2 years or more. Like some people that would see me, you know, for invasive treatments a couple times a year. One lady came back this Saturday, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It seemed like I hadn't seen her in like 10 years. And she was like, I know, it's been so long. Pam's like, it's been since 2018, 2019. I was like, wow, it's 2021. So we're missing some time. It's like we went through a time machine or something. I don't know why I'm doing this in this funky pattern. I'm just putting these wherever. I guess it don't matter because this strip is only black. Let me put some more in here though. And my little boat. And my scissors. My scissors are somewhere over by the bar. I have now stationed myself in the formal living room. And I used to be over there by Willie's work station, the desk that's in the front room. But I moved from there, and I'm over here now, which I liked being over there with him. I might move back over there because I enjoy his company when he's not working, you know. So what are you guys doing for Father's Day? Did you guys go out with a bang? Some people make such a big to-do about it, too. I saw one lady yesterday. I went to Michael's, and she was making cards. She was in the cricket aisle. She was making cards for, you know, family members, husband, brother-in-law, everybody, she said. I'm like, oh, you do you, girl. I didn't make Willie one. I don't know why. I got tons of stamps, card machines, and die cutting machines, and I just didn't make one. I could have, but I didn't. Logan gonna come down here and worry me because I told him we were going to church today. That's one thing about autistic people, honey. They are so regimented. They're gonna do what they say they're gonna do. Oh, you look lovely. All right, go eat one of those tortilla things that I made with the cheese in it. And get a glass of milk. So they will, if you tell them something, they will do it. And I was like, do I want to go to church? And I was like, if I tell Logan, I will be going to church. So I said, Logan, it was like 11 o'clock last night. I said, we're going to church tomorrow. So here it is, 8:30, honey. He is up and ready to go. Everybody needs to get them a little autistic person in their lives. Especially for people that are unorganized like myself. Because I'm not hardwired for, well, I shouldn't say for nothing, but most things in life I can just go like the wave, just like the tide, in and out, you know, don't bother me. But sometimes it's nice to have a regiment and a schedule and things like that, you know. Logan he'll say, no, we're supposed to be doing this, that, and the other. Oh, Logan, let's do this. All right. He'll do it, but reluctantly. He'll be like, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, he can go with the flow if there's nothing that I said that we're supposed to do or supposed to be scheduled for. You know, if I don't open my mouth, then he can go with the flow. But if I open my mouth and say, this is this and this is this at this time, oh, yeah, you doing that. That's bait. So I need to take Willie's old raggedy butt to church because church keeps him nice. He has to have accountability partner to keep his niceness up. So if I take him to church, he'll be nice all week because he remembered the sermon where he has God in the forefront. Honey, he missed church. He's turned into a mean old rattlesnake. You want to make the 9 o'clock service or you want to make the 10 o'clock service? Because it's 8:26 and it'll take us 4 minutes to get there. We could literally walk to our church. It's in our development. Isn't that the craziest thing? You want to go to the 9 o'clock? All right, we can go to the 9 o'clock. Let's see. This video is 18 minutes and 50 seconds long. So at this church, you can wear anything you want. I know at some churches it's dang near a contest to see who has on what and who's wearing the fanciest clothes. And these churches here in Texas, honey, you can throw on a good t-shirt and your bloomers and head out the door. And that's on the real. They're like, they don't care. Well, I guess it depends on, I shouldn't say it like it's like every church, you know, but the church is up north here. How about that? North Dallas. They don't care. The pastor, they just come comfortable too. They definitely don't wear a bunch of ties and stuff like that. The one pastor, he was his whole, well, I shouldn't say was, his whole group, you know, all the elders and people with his entourage that are with him, they all are big and buff. Like, they don't even fit in their suits right. You know, they'll wear a suit but not a tie or something like that. You know, the jacket with jeans and a suit jacket with jeans, but it just don't look right because they're so big and bulky. So it's like, no, just put on regular clothes. Don't even try to dress that up. You know, it's like women when they work out a lot and they get big and buff. They look kind of chunky in a dress. You know, so at least that's my opinion. It just don't look right. So, Pastor Mark, I actually go to a combination of churches. Like, whatever I feel like doing is what I do. So I'm not loyal to any of them. I just go where I want to go. If I'm running late, I go close. If I don't feel like traveling, I'll go close. But there is this one church, and I really like the husband is a good pastor. You know, he brings the word nicely. And the wife is a prophetess, and she's just very anointed. Yeah, like really anointed. She walked up to me and she wasn't vague. She just blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, don't you know that girl? And it wasn't one of those, your shoes are red on Wednesday. It wasn't one of those. It was detailed. I mean, she could tell me about my grandparents and everything and why I am the way I am and the calling God has for me. And just, yeah, it was a lot. And she's an author too. So, and I love feminine women. She's very feminine, very, you know, I like women that are confident and assured of themselves, you know, if that's the way to say it. It's so funny because people that are shy, I'm like, why? We're communicable people. Why are you shy? You know, so they come and get on my table and I'm like, oh no, you're going to talk to me. And sometimes, a lot of times, it has worked out nicely. I've had shy people that are shy, and then after they've been coming to me for a while, they're not shy with me. They might be still shy with everybody else, but they're not shy with me. They're like, Lisa, guess what happened to me? You know? I'm like, girl, what? It was like my daughter, we were talking and she was like, Mom, do you have lesbians or gay people that come to you? And I said, of course I do. I have every person come to me. And she's like, really? What do you talk about? I said, they ain't nothing but human beings, honey. We talk about everything. And I'm nosy too, so I ask them everything. And if you know my personality, I mean everything. I want to know. So, yep. If you don't know something, ask. I don't know everything. Hell, I don't know much of anything. So I just ask what I don't know. Ain't nothing taboo with me. Okay. I'm not even going to ask my husband if he wants to go to church. I'm not. You know why? Because I don't feel like I'm responsible for his spiritual life. If you want to go, you know I go to church on Sundays. You know, so no, I'm not making you do nothing. I used to say, Willie, get ready. We got to go to church. Willie, you know. And he'd get ready and we'd go, you know. But since the pandemic, he hasn't even been watching on YouTube or anything, so you need to. You know when you're spiritually weak. You know that. You know, when you haven't picked up the Bible in a while or spent time in the Lord's presence, you know, you don't need nobody to tell you that. That's what the Holy Spirit is for. That's what I say. All right. I am going to finish this today. Do you hear me? Yes, I will. It is not that much. I did that other strip on that side last night, and I opened my eyes and I was asleep right here at this table. I was like, girl, really? Really? Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, now you need to go to bed. But I didn't. I went and laid on the sofa because I didn't want to put my earpiece in because I go to bed with YouTube in my ear. Yes, I do. And my husband went to bed, and I didn't want to put my earpiece in. So I laid on the couch. Well, at 5 this morning, he came out. And he's like, hey, what are you doing out here? He hates not sleeping with me. I was like, my bad. I must have fallen asleep. He was like, come get in the bed. I was like, boy, it's time to get up. You tell me something, come get in the bed. I think I'm going to go to the 10 o'clock service. It's 8:34. Guess I could still make the 9 o'clock service. Don't you feel like you're punching a clock? You know? Oh, and that's another thing. Here, our churches are an hour. Lord, 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 now get on out. Pay your tithes. Get out of here. Yes. When I go home, if I go to church with like my aunt and Nat, you know, because all my uncles have churches and stuff. So if you go to church with them, oh my goodness, it's like hours later. You're like, all right already, I got it. And my aunt, she's like, Lisa, here, put this on. She tried to softly tell me, that don't look right. We don't dress like that here. Yeah, she changed my clothes. So last time I went, I didn't go to church with them. I was like, oh no, I gotta catch my flight. Yes, I'm not for all that long. Say what you gotta say. Don't be long-winded. Because what you gotta say, I can read it in the Word. You know, I can read the Bible. I'm literate. I was literate. I can read, you know. So just say what you gotta say. Give me your interpretation of what it says, because that's all it is their interpretation. I know a lot of people are like, no, the Lord is speaking through them. Yeah. Save it. The Lord speaks to me too, and every last one of us. So, but I do like going. I do like hearing other people's point of view, and I do like learning, and I do learn. So I go, but I don't think they're the only ones that hear from God. I think we all do. Well, I know I do. At least I know I think I do. How about some of that? Anyways, boy, I'm ranting and raving about religion this Sunday, aren't I? My sister said they were going to do their Father's Day yesterday. That way, you know, all her kids are adults too. That way, the adult, her adult kids, they could have their Father's Day to themselves as well, because she has a daughter, a son and a daughter. So her daughter has a fiance, and they have a child together. So she's going to be getting married this February. And so they'll want to do Father's Day together. So they thought they'd do it on Saturday, and then they'd have their private holiday, you know, on the day of, which is a great idea, you know. On Christmas, they all go to Sean's house, my sister's house, at like 5 in the morning and open gifts, and then they all go back home and have their Christmas. And they've been doing that way for years, but I'm not that desperate to open up gifts. I don't want to go to someone else's house at 5 o'clock in the morning. But they take all the gifts over to Sean's house that they're going to open and for each other. And it's like hundreds of gifts. I'm like, oh my gosh. I just think about all the money spent. But you can't think that way on Christmas. But it does come into my mind. I'd be a liar to think that it doesn't. These toy manufacturer and candy manufacturers, honey, they keep us spending money, don't they? You've got Christmas candy. You got Easter candy. You've got Halloween. You have all these holidays that all revolve around candy. And then you have, it's like each industry have their own holiday. Hallmark is, you know, they're making a mint off of the cars for Father's Day and Mother's Day, and they even have Nurse Appreciation Day and Boss Day, and I'm like, oh my good Lord, there are official holidays and non-official holidays. Administrative Day, yes, it was that too. I said, I'll be. My client said, you know, this is, what did she tell me? National Wine Day or something. I was like, what? I'm going to decorate the back porch for 4th of July. Kimberly's birthday is the 15th of July, and my grandson, my oldest grandson, Anson, is going to be 16, and his birthday is July 7th. So we're going to, I guess, have an early celebration. And I said, Anson, you want to drive? I think I told you guys this. I'm going to buy you some driving, you know, pay for the driving school. He's like, oh, no. I'm like, boy, bye. He needs to learn how to drive, you know, so he can be a safe driver. And he'll be driving right on post, you know, so it's going to be pretty safe. I forget what the statistics are, but they said the likelihood that they will have an accident their first year, you know. Cameron had his. He jumped the curb, went down a ditch, a bayou, and that's where he landed. I'm going to put this real funky like right here. Yes, and landed in a bayou, and he kind of, I guess, ruined his, the underside, the undercarriage of the car. So, and it had minor scrapes and, you know, this, that, and the other. But whatever was going on, they totaled his car. But my husband was like, no, there's nothing wrong with that car. So, and Willie used to do body work. So he was like, they're full of it. So we kept the car, but Cameron just didn't feel the same way about his car. He just started complaining about everything, like wanting it to be faster and this, that, and the other. But there was nothing wrong with it. And I bought his car used. No. That wasn't the car. I gave him my Lexus, and I bought a new one. And he has since given that Lexus to his friend, and he got his father's. No, I bought him a new one, actually. How did that go? No. The one he crashed, he gave to my brother, and I bought him a new one. And that was like when he was in high school. Yeah, he was like 19. So he had that car for the last, 5 years? And he just gave it to his friend. And Willie gave Cameron his, because Willie got the Corvette. So he didn't need another car. So Cameron always wanted his dad's car because it's like a fast Lexus. So, yeah. It actually, Willie bought it for me, and I didn't want that one, so he took it. It was just too fast. I was on the freeway. I was doing like 120, 125 or something. I was like, oh, it felt like I was going 10 miles an hour. It was smooth, but it was a stiff ride, and I'm not used to that. I like to float like a Cadillac. So he got me the 460 LS, I guess it is. I don't know. The extended bed. Now he wants me to get a new car because he says I have a lot of miles on my car. But so what? It's running fine. Go away. Like my grandma say, leave bad enough alone. Ain't nothing wrong with my car. I only drive it up the street to work and back to the house. Well, I did drive it to San Antonio, and honey, it drove. And I needed to get some freeway miles because I never take it on the freeway. My work is literally 15 to 17 minutes away from my house. So I needed to get some freeway miles. I need to move that down a little bit. Oh my gosh. When I say I cannot wait to kit up my next one, guys, I am like desperate. Like, it will be around. I am so over the squares right now. Like, so over the squares. They want to go Willy Wonka, and I mean, I think it takes twice as long, or maybe even longer, to do squares. And I know that shouldn't be a factor, but I just feel like they don't come out straight. I still feel like I'm, at the end of it, like my lines don't line up perfectly, and well, that one's pretty perfect. I don't know. I just don't care for it. I mean, if you look real close, it's just not completely lined up perfect. It's just not. Take my word for it. You got that? Take my word for it. Y'all know, I'm sure some of y'all out there do squares. And they say the squares are supposed to shimmer more and the light reflects off of all the sides and everything like that. And the hell with the lights. I'm going to circle around after this. I need a break. Yes. It comes out nice. I would be a liar, a miss, as they say, to say that it doesn't come out nice, but and I don't think it holds down on the canvas as good either. Like, I got a lot of raised drills, so I got to go get that roller and see that? Roll all over it. Do you guys roll all yours? I think before I frame them, I will get into the habit of rolling them. I know Stitcherisa, she frames all her, well, not all of her stuff, I'm sure, but a lot of her stuff and puts them up on her walls. I don't think I have any free walls to put stuff. My husband told me to take over the formal living room and put some doors up and everything like that and take over these rooms, because for the most part, We just walk right past this space. And this is a pretty big living room, dining room area. It's pretty big, you know. So yeah, I could take it over and just not have this stuff down here, but I don't know. It seemed like a huge undertaking. I guess it'd be even a bigger undertaking to just get a new place, but he's like, I just want to pay my house off and live in it. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And my husband really isn't formal. Like, he doesn't have to have designated areas for, you know, he'll rip something out in a minute. How about that? Like, you don't like that? Rip. You want a wall here? Rip. Yeah. So I went to Michael's 40% off Cricut sale yesterday. How come I spent $300? Did you hear what I said? And that was my second time going. Yeah, the first time I think I spent $77 or something like that. And mind you, I don't even need anything. But this time I bought more than Cricut. I bought, what is this, Scissor? Something like that, that other brand of vinyl. Because theirs were actually 36 inches and 5 feet. All those rolls were $4.99 on the one brand. What was that other brand? I'll show you guys. And then the scissors, I think that's the way you say it. I don't know, sizer. Oh, this one will not fit in there. Was $9.99, and then the other brand was $4.99, and the other brand was 5 feet. So yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I can't even see where I'm working. I'm working down here on this little part down here. I'm using the 4-placer. Yeah, it's like you can see some of them are like a little bit, oops, Willy Wonka, lost that one. That's a big one. And they're different sizes, dude. Oh, that space is in there. It's almost like you want to slide another one in that little space right there. I'm gonna have to, this is gonna drive me insane, so I have got to move these and fix these. Is anyone else like me? They're like, and then some of these are attached by 2s, and I should use my little device that separates everything. Oh, making that bulk up. There, you see, I don't know how I got that space in there, but I did. I'm gonna put one of these little ones in there. And then you would think that these are squares, these little pegs, but sometimes they work out to be like rectangles. Okay, there we go. Here come Logan, you guys. He gonna get after me. What time is it? Watch what he say. He didn't come in here yet. Alrighty. I just wanted to finish this one little part over here before I skedaddle my little ugly self to church. I still have my head bonnet on. I haven't even done my hair or my makeup. I probably won't do any makeup. Why? Are people wearing masks to church or not? Probably not. They want to feel like, oh, God is with us. You know, so they're probably not wearing their mask. It probably looks like you're not a true believer if you have a mask on. But you know what? I think some pastors died of corona, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they did, because there was two of them actually, that I remember actually now. So, I'm sure they had faith. I don't think it has anything to do with it. If you are a human being, you're going to die. You're going to die of something. So, it ain't got nothing to do with whether or not you have faith or what type of believer you are. Strong believer, weak believer. They all die. We all die. So, alrighty, y'all. Look at this. You see what I have left to do? Do you see this section and this section? Yes, yes. And you know which one I'm going to do next? I'm going to do the, what is that? The one that I just got in, Treasure Studio. What is it? Art Treasure Studio or something like that. That's the one I'm going to do next. Because I want to see, you know, their stuff is actually a little more expensive than Diamond Art. But you see how I can do this and it will release? I tell you, I stuck my finger to their canvas and it stuck on the canvas. And when I pulled it off, my fingertip hurt. That's how sticky that was. I'm not even joking. I was like, okay, I gotta stop. I gotta stop and go to church. I got 5 minutes to get there. I'm gonna be late. Y'all know I'm gonna be late. I don't even know why y'all trying to play. You know I'm gonna be late. This is Scrapping Like a Lady. Deuces.